I wake up lying on hard metal instead of my futon. The sky above me is not blue. It's dark red, filled with smoke and fire. For a second, I think I missed an alarm, or maybe Genos tried some new training idea without telling me. Then something explodes a few meters away, and I realize this definitely isn't City Z. Huge armored soldiers rush past me. They're at least twice my size, covered in thick power armor, carrying weapons bigger than refrigerators. They aren't talking. They aren't joking. They just fire non-stop at creatures crawling out of burning craters. The monsters look different. Bigger. Covered in spikes and teeth, screaming like the world owes them money. Nobody seems surprised to see me standing there in my hero suit. No one even asks if I'm okay. Everyone looks too busy surviving. A giant red monster with horns and a glowing axe notices me. It shouts something dramatic about blood and skulls. I don't really catch the details. It charges at me, smashing the ground with every step. The big armored soldiers try to stop it, but it swats them aside like toys. I sigh. I was hoping for something interesting at least. The monster swings its axe down at my head. I raise my fist and punch forward. That's it. There's a loud shockwave. The creature disappears. Not falls. Not explodes dramatically. Just gone. The ground cracks behind it, and the sky seems to shake for a second. Everything goes quiet. The giant soldiers stop firing. Some of them slowly turn their helmets toward me. I can't see their faces, but I can feel the confusion. I look around at the burning battlefield, the endless waves of enemies in the distance, the ships fighting in the sky. This place feels heavy. Like it never rests. Like war is just normal here. I scratch my head. I wonder if they even have supermarkets in this universe. The giant armored soldiers surround me after the fight. Up close, they're even bigger. Their armor is scratched and covered in symbols I don't understand. One of them points a massive weapon at my face. Identify yourself. I'm Saitama. Hero for fun. They don't react. Not even a little. Another one steps forward. What chapter do you serve? What authority commands you? I don't know what that means, I say. I just punch things. That seems to make things worse. More weapons lift. I hear the word anomaly. I hear possible warp entity. I don't know what the warp is, but judging by their tone, it's not a good thing. Soon, normal humans arrive. They look smaller, more nervous. One of them wears a long coat and a strange hat, staring at me like I'm already guilty of something. He circles me slowly. You display impossible physical capability, he says. No psychic signature. No detectable corruption. Explain. I did 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10-kilometer run every day, I answer honestly. Silence. The armored soldiers don't laugh. The man in the coat doesn't blink. They whisper about heresy, mutation, hidden power. Everything here feels strict. Heavy. Like one wrong word gets you in serious trouble. As they escort me through their city, I notice giant statues everywhere. A golden figure sits on banners, walls, even hanging from chains in the sky. People kneel as they pass it. Some are crying. Some are praying. Who's that? I ask. The God Emperor of mankind, one soldier replies instantly. God Emperor? That sounds complicated. Everyone here seems tense all the time. No one smiles. No one relaxes. Even when they're not fighting, they act like war is about to start again in 5 seconds. I don't really care about their politics or religion. I just want to know one thing. Is there anyone strong here? Because if this whole galaxy is this serious all the time, it better at least be interesting. A massive figure steps out from a tear in the air itself. The sky twists behind him like it's being pulled into a drain. He's covered in jagged armor, black and red, with spikes rising from his shoulders. A horned helmet hides his face, but I can feel something angry staring at me from inside it. He points a huge glowing sword at me. At last, he shouts, voice echoing unnaturally, of being worthy of my blade. I am chosen by the dark gods. I carry the blessing of eternal ruin. Through me, this galaxy will drown in. I blink. He's still talking. The endless tide of despair and blood. Your skull shell. I glance around. The armored soldiers nearby have backed away. Even the air feels heavier, like pressure building before a storm. The ground cracks under the champion's feet as dark energy pours off him in waves. He raises his sword toward the sky. Witness the power granted to me by chaos. Witness the will of the gods themselves. I sigh. I've heard long speeches before. Usually from villains who explode dramatically after I punch them. I was hoping this universe might skip that part. Are you done? I ask. He roars and charges, sword blazing with energy that bends the light around it. The sky splits wider. I hear distant screams from the strange tear behind him, like something massive is watching through it. He swings. I step forward and throw a normal punch. There's a sound like thunder collapsing in on itself. The champion disappears instantly. His sword shatters into dust. The tear in the sky snaps shut so fast it leaves a ripple across the clouds. For a second, everything goes completely still. Then the air trembles. Not from him. From something far away. I look up. The sky hasn't returned to normal. It feels like something just noticed me. I scratch my cheek. Ah, was that important? The air around me starts to feel strange. Not heavy like before. Not loud. Just thick. Like I'm standing inside something that's trying to think. The space in front of me bends, colors twisting into shapes that don't make sense. Voices begin whispering from nowhere and everywhere at the same time. So empty, one voice says softly. So much potential, another hisses. You seek challenge, a deeper growl echoes. We can give you endless battle. Images flash in front of my eyes. Mountains of powerful enemies. Beings larger than planets. Fights that crack stars in half. My heart should probably race at something like that. It doesn't. Another voice slides in, smoother than the rest. Pleasure without limit. Excitement beyond boredom. No more dull days. No more searching. That part almost sounds interesting. Then I think about it for 2 seconds. If they just give it to me, it wouldn't count. A real fight isn't exciting because it's handed over. It's exciting because it happens naturally. Because it surprises you. The whispers grow louder. The space around me pulses. I feel something trying to push into my mind, like fingers pressing against a window, searching for a crack. There isn't one. I don't feel greed. I don't feel rage. I don't feel despair. I'm just me. I don't really need extra power, I say. I already end fights in one punch. The pressure suddenly falters. The colors flicker. The voices hesitate. Confusion replaces confidence. He does not desire. He does not fear. He does not crave. The presence pulling at me weakens, like it grabbed onto something smooth and couldn't find a grip. The twisted space slowly untangles itself. The whispers fade into distant echoes. I stand there alone again. I think I get it now. This place runs on extreme emotions. Rage. Desire. Ambition. Obsession. I'm just a guy who wanted to be a hero for fun. Maybe that's why it can't touch me. Behind the silence, I can almost feel something vast and ancient trying to understand what I am. Honestly, I'm not sure either. The air changes the moment I step inside the massive golden chamber. It feels heavier than anywhere else in this galaxy. Not violent. Not chaotic. Just overwhelming. Like standing at the bottom of a deep ocean made of thoughts. At the center, I see him. a figure seated upon an enormous throne of machinery and light. Wires, tubes, ancient metal, all connected to a body that looks both alive and not. His presence presses against my mind, vast and ancient, stretching far beyond this planet. So this is the Emperor. I don't feel hatred from him. I don't feel madness either. I feel focus. Endless focus. Like someone holding back a stone with pure willpower. The pressure increases. Invisible force pushes against my body, testing me. I stand there with my hands at my sides. It doesn't move me even a centimeter. For a moment, the psychic weight sharpens. Not as an attack. More like curiosity. I scratch my cheek. Hi. No words come from his mouth. He doesn't need to speak. Something brushes against my thoughts, careful and controlled. What are you? That's the feeling I get. I'm just a hero, I answer out loud. For fun. Silence. The psychic presence studies me. I can tell he's searching for something. Warp energy. Corruption. Ambition. Fear. He finds none of it. I don't feel like a psyker. I don't feel like whatever chaos is. I don't even feel special. I just trained really hard. The pressure slowly eases. Not gone, but adjusted. Like he understands I'm not a threat to humanity. Not a servant of his enemies either. Another question brushes my mind. Why are you here? I shrug. Honestly, I was hoping someone strong might show up. For the first time, the massive psychic presence shifts in a way I can't fully describe. Not anger. Not amusement. Something quieter. Understanding. This galaxy survives on faith and fear. He carries it all alone. Endless war. Endless responsibility. I don't carry any of that. I just want a good fight. For a long moment, we simply exist in the same space. Two beings completely different, yet strangely calm. Then I turn around. If he's the strongest here, this might take more than one punch. That would be nice. Things start changing after that. I don't announce anything. I don't join any army. I don't give speeches. I just keep walking from battlefield to battlefield. Every time something huge shows up, something everyone is terrified of, I punch it once. After a while, the pattern spreads. Enemies begin hesitating. Massive warships pull back when I jump onto their hulls. Demons that once screamed proudly now pause before charging. Some of them retreat the second they see me standing there in my plain yellow suit. I even hear that certain Chaos Champions refuse to manifest on planets where I've been spotted. That's new. The warp feels quieter too. Not peaceful. Just cautious. Like it's thinking twice. The Imperium reacts differently. I notice more ships arriving wherever I go. More soldiers watching me from a distance. They don't point weapons at me anymore. Now they observe. Measure. Calculate. I overhear words like asset. Strategic advantage. Living weapon. I don't really like that. I'm not anyone's weapon. I'm a hero for fun. Still, I can't deny the effect. Entire invasions collapse when their strongest fighter disappears in a single hit. Planets survive that probably wouldn't have before. Commanders start planning around me, as if I'm some ultimate trump card. The problem is, it's still boring. No one strong enough lasts more than a second. Even the so-called unstoppable horrors feel fragile. I stand in the middle of a battlefield that used to decide the fate of star systems, and it feels like swatting flies. For a galaxy that never stops fighting, it's surprisingly predictable. I look up at the endless stars, warships burning in the distance. Maybe going home would be easier. At least there, I know where the supermarket is. And if I'm lucky, there might be a sale. Saving an entire galaxy by accident is fine, I guess. But I'd still trade it for one serious punch.